Hi guys, and today it's just going to be a brief video about my new mobile phone, or cell phone if you're in America. So the last few years I've been using the iPhone SE, which is basically a 6S in a small case. I don't like big phones, they're kind of clumsy, they're a bit annoying because they're so bloody big. So I've gone for the smallest new phone I could possibly find that's got some kind of decent function. It's just come out, it's the Sony Xperia xz2 compact. So I do an xz2, I think it's called either just as it is or premium, which has got a few extra features, but basically what they've done is miniaturised it slightly. And compared to the SE, it's not hugely different, but it fits in the hand really nicely. It's the best thing about it, for me, myself, and as us photographers know, we want some control. So the camera, which I've now realised, which I will put some video up in a minute, it's got manual function, so you can adjust the ISO, shutter speed and everything, so really good for that. I haven't actually tried the camera out all that much yet, but what I will do is I'll take a picture of my first ever camera, which is the Pentax ME Super here, which I've now converted into a lamp. You can see it's on, and it's a big change. I've been an iPhone user for probably the last 10 years, and going back to an Android or similar system is a bit different by getting there. It's definitely different. Benefit is battery life is really good on this, where the iPhone wasn't. It does some different things. The speakers in it are amazing. They're really loud. Scared the hell out of me this morning when the alarm clock went off, and almost jumped out of bed because it was that loud. So tonight I won't turn it turn it so loud for that. You've got volume control for each different thing, which is really good. But yeah, so you've got a dedicated camera button, and watching the reviews out there, no one's mentioning the fact you've got full manual control over the camera. Yes, you've got 960 frames a second slow motion, and they're all saying you can't control that either, you just got to push it at the right moment. Well, it doesn't have a loop option like the RX10 Mark IV has, which makes the life a lot easier because you set the shot up and then you wait for the moment to happen, then you push record, and because it's looping, it's already recorded so you haven't got to react so quickly, which is great, so you don't miss anything. But you can also set it as stop and go. This has a slightly different system where you can either just push start and it will do its 2.5 seconds. So you are limited on the time, so 2.5 seconds at 960 frames a second, so that's then slowed down 30 times. I'm guessing due to the internal power of this thing, it maybe isn't enough. The other option, a way I've now seen, which no one has mentioned at all in any of the reviews, is you start recording at 60 frames a second HD. So you'll be filming something normally and you have your finger hovering over the slow motion button. As soon as you see something action happen, you just then push that, and it just goes into the 960 frames a second. And then you let go, and it goes back to 60. So you get a bit like the iPhone does, where you're doing 240 frames a second. It starts off and then does a burst in the middle of 240 frames a second, then goes back to normal. So it's got some kind of usability there. I'm probably not going to use it that often. I'm going to use the RX10 Mark IV for the better slow motion stuff. Anyway, so with the phone, really happy with it so far. Nice silicone case straight on there, so it's nice to hold in the hand. It's not too big, not too small. And they're also moaning about this fingerprint scanner on the back. Well, straight away, there. It's not difficult. But the reason I think they've put it there, if you think in a logical manner, unlike everyone else who's moaning about everything, is if you're holding the phone here and you try and, if you just happen to move your finger around in places where you would want it, just to rest it, you don't want your fingerprint scanner there, because you'll just be either unlocking it by accident all the time or doing another action that it's set up to do. So having it right in the middle and actually knowing where it is, there, is good. So we're not only holding it there, you're not even anywhere near it. So people saying that you're going to get the camera all the time because it's a similar size. I think it's more obvious on the bigger phone, sorry, that's got a slightly higher bezel. But still, once you've used something for a while, you get to learn it, don't you? Same as the menus in the cameras. So if you're a Canon user, you're going to find the menu in there very easily. If you're a Nikon user, you're going to find exactly the same in the Sony. But if you were to pick up a different camera, if I pick up a Nikon or a Canon, it's going to take me 20 minutes to work out what's in the menus, if not more. You know, especially Nikon, the way they word things sometimes, you're like, really? You know, so another thing I've also found out recently, or yesterday, was a time-lapse app. And I thought it was a time-lapse app for this, but actually it turns out it's actually a time-lapse control unit which wirelessly syncs to your RX10 Mark IV or your A7R3 or your A7 or your A9, the A7R2 via Wi-Fi. So you have full control time-lapse function here, so you don't need the Play Memories app at all, which obviously the cameras don't have now. So you can actually do time-lapse from this directly, which is really cool. Haven't tried it out yet, but it's getting good rating, so it should be quite good. What I'm going to do now quickly is try this camera out using the Rotolight EOS for a nice bit of lighting. I'm just going to take some few photos of my old camera just to see how good this thing is, and then next week I've actually got quite a bit of free time, so hopefully the weather is going to stay nice as they forecast it, and I'm going to be out and about photographing lots and lots of things, doing some videos, and I shall use this as well. A few comparisons. The A7R3 is going to be out with me, the RX10 Mark IV is going to be with me, and this as well. So I shall mess around with the time lapse and everything as well. So anyway guys, so if you like the video, please put the like, remember to subscribe, and also please click the little bell thing for the notifications, and at the end of the video there's going to be some photographs that I've done with my old camera. So okay, take care, cheers. So guys, there you go. In fact, actually, let's turn up screen brightness a bit so we can actually see. There you go. So this is the camera on auto. So if I just take a picture, as you can see, it's picking up focus points, and I can actually, you can do a burst. Yeah, go in quite close, and that's in auto. So if I flick it now to manual, as you can see, the shutter speed and everything is probably way too, yeah, 1/8 of a second. So if we slow the shutter speed down now, so like 1/25 of a second, I've actually got full control. There you go. As you can see, you can also zoom in. That way, there we go. So we can zoom in quite nicely. Take a picture. Zoom out. We've got ISO control. So we can go ISO up to 12,800. So let's go for different shutter speed. 1/4000th of a second. It's probably a bit bright, so let's just turn the EOS down slightly. Be interested to see what the quality's like. If you've got a little bit of light there, this is where, there we go. Yeah, there's a bit of noise there, you can see it straight away. In the background mostly, so if we do a review, yeah, there's quite a bit of noise in there. So if we go back there, take the ISO back down, shutter speed down, so we've got ISO 50, going for a nice close shot. You can also tap to focus, so I'm focusing on the Pentax at the minute. There we go. So that's how easy the camera is to use. You've also got the video function as well. So at the moment that's in HDR is turned off at the moment actually. That's at 60 frames a second at the moment. You can do 4K, but I think 60 frames a second HD is absolutely fine. And you then have this button, so you push record and then you would do the slow motion thing with that button just there on the left hand side. You just hold your finger down that and it does its slow motion thing for the moments, the few seconds it can do, and then it goes back to the normal video, so you should be able to capture some things coming past. So if you're at a motor racing track or something as well. The other cool thing it can do, which I haven't got my head around yet, is 3D thing. I've done my own head, which is really bad. So I scanned my own head in a really grumpy look, but you can actually, it's not attractive, sorry. But basically you can do a 3D scan of your own head. So if we tried a new scan, it's it's saying food. I haven't done enough. You have to do some tutorials first, but if we do a scan of the, it's not going to work this I don't think, but scan the camera. So you go round, there you go, and you come back, there we go, and go back, and you go up, and you go down, there we go. Oh no, quite enough. Ah, you bugger. There we go, done it. So, warning, you have detected problems in the environment which may have affected the quality of the scan. Show me. Light around the object is too bright. So, I'll probably turn it down a bit. So, continue anyway, we'll just have a look, see what it looks like. There we go, done. So it's now building the scan, so it's actually not done, considering it's the first one I've done, not done too bad. So you can actually see some of the detail of the camera. Once I mess around with it a bit, you can actually get it right. But it's the first time I've used it, and it just puts it on sort of a funny background. But you can get a 360-degree scan, which means I could go around the back as well and actually do a proper scan anyway. So discard that. But yeah, so you can mess around doing lots of different things. Actually, if I can show you, you can do a full head scan, so right around 360 degrees, which is kind of cool. Just a bit of fun if anything, but you could do like food. Absolutely mad. So if you get it right, which I haven't yet because I've only been playing with it for a few hours, a freeform scan, so if you get really good at it, you can then do, say for example, a shell. I mean, if you get it really right, you know, that's how good it looks. Really good. So experimentation, I think, is key. Like anything, get to use something a bit, the better you get at using it. So that's the phone anyway, and the basics, you know, of what I'm going to be using it for, as well as a phone, and obviously social media and things like that. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it so far, and it does a lot more things than the iPhone does, and also it seems to be pretty good at it, and also the battery life is more than a day. I'm not a heavy user of a phone, so I won't be charging up huge amounts during the day or anything like that. So it's just a case of, it's a brilliant bit of kit in your pocket, and it just works. So, you know, and I'm just away from the Apple sort of control that they sort of have over you, where you can't do certain things, which is quite annoying sometimes. But anyway guys, like I said, please subscribe, have a look at the pictures and what you think. It's not going to be as good as a DSLR or an mirrorless full frame, but for something that's in your pocket and you've actually got some kind of control over, and quite a lot of control by the looks of it, it's going to be quite cool. So anyway guys, I shall speak to you soon. So here are a few photos I just quickly snapped with the new phone. So it's the Sony Xperia xz2 compact, 19 megapixels. So this is I've set it at the 16:9 screen ratio. The next two are just as was straight out of the camera. So as you can see, nice and sharp, pretty clear. ISO 100. Actually no, this is ISO 80. This is automatic. So this is ISO 80. These are at ISO 100 with a little bit better exposure there. But I mean, they're pretty good. I mean, I've just looked at it at full screen, just under 30 inches, and they're pretty impressive. Yes, they're a bit restricted compared to a real camera. You haven't got a massive zoom lens and stuff like that. And yes, the noise, noise is going to be pretty awful in low light as it gets darker and darker. But you can still get an image, and that's what mobile phones are about. It's more about the moment, isn't it? But as you can see here, is even from really wide angle and zooming in and zooming in, it's pretty impressive. Yeah, there's probably a better camera on one of the other phones out there, but how much better? Is it really that much noticeable? Not really. Anyway guys, like I said, please subscribe and keep sharing, and there'll be a new video soon. Cheers.